What's up, guys? I hope everyone's having a nice morning. Just getting set up here real quick. Kind of had a bit, a little bit of a morning, you know, one of those days. Uh, why is this not setting up properly? Nah, there we go. Finally. Just get things set up real quick. Here. Morning, Mandish. Morning, Chuck. Doing well, man. Just a bit of a morning. Family had some car trouble, so was running back and forth with that right in the morning. Kind of just getting set up right now. Just chugging down my coffee so I can be amped up for this. Let's see. Hopefully this Friday won't be one of those weird choppy Fridays and we can just continue find some good moves. Lately, kind of been missing out on some moves. Kind of upset about that. Enzo, that's good, man. I'm happy for you. Did you finally get out of the sim or are you still doing that? Let's just do a little bit of a recap right now, right? Overnight, just kind of bounced back and forth, right? We were chopping around pretty much a good amount throughout the night session, and then finally early morning we started pumping up around 7 a.m. But we still haven't broken through those highs from the overnight. That is something to pay attention to. So we'll see how the open reacts, right? We are still holding above that 200 EMA. We bounced off pretty much perfectly to the tick from our level twice overnight. And then we had an algo alert pop in the morning. I'll show you that right here, right? We had two of them, one back at like 7:10. I saw this because I was awake, but then again, I don't get in anything after before 8 a.m. And then I wanted to get in on this one, but obviously running back and forth because family had like car troubles and whatnot. They had a flat, but we'll get that fixed. But right now, it hit take profit level 1, level 2. Kind of dropped back to level 1 right now. Market open, we will see how it plays out. Yesterday was a bit choppy. Enzo, that's a good plan, man. Stick to it. I'm happy that you're actually like following your rules and sticking and being disciplined with that, because a lot of people would have just been like, oh, I made money now, okay, I can put real money in again. But the fact that you're trying to hit your monthly goal first, props to you, man. Yeah, I wish I got an honest alert, but life happens sometimes, but it's okay. We can probably definitely try to find another move. It's kind of slow movement right now, right? Nothing crazy happening. Slow start to the day. Obviously Friday. Pretty common. But we have been holding above that 200 EMA very nicely. Because once we finally broke out of that range, which took a long time, right? This was the morning range. Let me just extend it to show you guys how long it took. We never really held below or above the morning range till around here, around like 14:30. That's when we finally started to see the pump up. Once we start holding above it, that's when we really start making that push up. Let's see how we do today. Hopefully we're not range bound again. If we get stuck between that morning range, then it's gonna be a mess. Big charts are moving super slow as well. That's no fun. Is NQ dropping hard? Let me check it out. Yeah, NQ is taking a little bit of a dip, but that might just be a pullback for the NQ, to be honest. Because the overall structure of it's still good. It's still in good hands to go long. This might just be a little bit of pullback coming down. Finally making that push. That's good. Let's see. Again, we just broke over that overnight high, just peaked it, right? Just by a little tick or so, nothing crazy. Once we start holding above that overnight high, that's when we might see some pressure to go long. But then again, if you look at, psych level, every 10 numbers, every 10 points, right? 3460, and then look at the orders piling up. If these orders can hold and stay there for a while, that means we might see some heavy selling pressure coming in. But again, they just disappeared. People are like been playing with it this week. Because normally when I see orders like that, they don't happen that often. Right now, this alert came in at 8:15, went straight up to level 3 right now. How big was that move? $6.75. That's good. But then obviously if you follow the take profit system, you would have taken it out either at level 2, or once it pulled back to level 1, you want to just secure yourself before market open. So you would have got out right here for like 2.25 points. Again, which is still good, right? You're just making sure you're not becoming risk excessive. Making sure you're managing your risk, understanding that, hey, you're taking your profits when they present themselves as well. Because sometimes, we bounce off of these levels and we end up going right back, right? Like right now, we just hit the tick and then pulled right back down. So they always act as like nice little levels to bounce off of. So that's something to pay attention to. You took another one? Okay. Yeah, if you're 5 green now, I think, yeah, just relax, sit back, just and watch the markets just to analyze, but don't place any trades. Because once you go on like a little bit of a hot streak and just in the same one day, right? So it's like you want to preserve it, not take any too big risks, right? If you get in, you better make sure that it meets every single one of your criteria to enter, right? And yeah, Dragon, yesterday, dude, it sucked so much. It was annoying watching that screen. Enzo, man, the discipline is key here. It's crucial. I was really hoping to catch an algo alert this morning. I got it up early too, just to watch it. I was watching it at 7 a.m., but I couldn't stay on my computer exactly when the alert came over here. Missed out on it. But that's part of life. Sometimes just miss out on stuff. But there'll always be another move. That's why I'm never worried. I never dwell on not being able to make a trade just because the market's always running. If you can't make a trade in this market, then there's always a different market that's moving. And I'm keeping an eye out on crude oil lately. I'll probably start entering it probably next week with some live money again for the crude oil because I like the movements that it's making. It's more steady this time. NQ is leading, yeah. I'm looking at it right now. It is pushing. Both NQ and ES are kind of in sync at the moment. NQ is just leading just by a little bit, but again, we'll always have that differentiator where one of them is trying to lead, so one of them will try to catch up. So in this case, since it's a little unbiased, right, we just got to give it a little bit more time for confirmation. Next week you'll have 2 screens? Yeah, it will be. I need to start drinking something like green tea or something again. Some buyers holding at 34.55.75. We'll see if we can break below that. Still a choppy candle to me, so I gotta be careful. But if it does want to pull back and then make a move, I'll be prepared for that this time. Yeah, buyers really piling up at 34.56. It's very interesting to see. They usually try to move their orders and push it up higher, but they're holding at 34.56. What's up, Sergio? The fact that we were able to even just break above that overnight high a little bit gives me a little bit of indication that we want to push higher. Another thing is that Delta has been pushing higher as well. We can see, you know, came down, started, a little choppy here, but now we're finally making those moves to the upside. So when price, the candles are in the proper direction, Delta's in this proper direction, we're in pretty good hands. It's just a matter of waiting to see for some confirmation after that first 15 minutes, right? Yeah, more orders piling up at 34.56. That is super interesting to see. This is going to be our morning range for today. Let me just drag that down just a little bit. There we go. You got 600? Okay. Nice job. Yeah, the dome reading, it's important to read when you're going for quicker plays, but like if you're going for long-term plays, it won't really make a difference. But it's important to understand that at random moments, you will have high level sellers or buyers pile up at a certain price point trying to make a full reversal. That's why I always keep the dome up. If not, then I don't even I wouldn't keep it. So it's just to see. Because like when I go for like quick scalps or anything, if I see like a high pressure like this, which isn't too common, right? Then I might be more hesitant and be like, hey, let me wait for the buyers to break through that or the sellers to break through that before I place my order in. Yeah, you can look at the dome exactly when you're approaching your support and resistance area as well, because it'll give you a nice indication of how strong that level is. But one thing you do have to keep in mind though is that orders can come in at any time. Some people literally wait till price is approaching that certain price, and then they'll put all their orders in. So now the orders are getting split. They moved it up a tick from 34.56 to 34.56.25. Pay attention to that. They're trying to hold up whoever this placing these big orders wants to get in. Again, we're in our morning range, so be very careful. Yep. 250 orders just disappeared. There you go. They canceled it and they pushed right through. Broke out of that morning range real quick, right? I want price to go back in if I want to go for even a quick scalp, right? So that's what we'll be waiting for. Let's see. Let's just make sure nothing. I mean, Friday sell-offs happen, right? It could be. It could be a flush, or I mean, today the conditions look pretty decent. Nothing enough to like say a flush per se, but like a pullback for sure. But I don't know about a flush. I never watched the CME before like that, but I mean that'd be interesting to see. But yeah, slippage is a big deal, right? Especially when you're trading futures, you don't want to have slippage. I'm just waiting for price to hold first before I move my order up. It might just end up coming down. I don't know yet. Need a little bit of confirmation real quick. I want it to hold within our morning range before I move my order up for the second breakout, right? I want the buyers to get trapped and then sellers to take over if I'm going for the breakout of this play, right? So that's ideal. I'm just gonna let this candle close to see where price ends up, and then I'll move my order up. Yeah, I don't know how they placed trades back then, man. Never understood that. That's also true. I mean, the internet definitely changed the world of trading, right? Having brokerages, everything. So it's like, see if we can break below that and make a little flush. Quick move.
Stop filled.
I'm expecting it to at least pull back to 200 EMA, right? Made a nice pump up, come down, made newer highs. We should see a little bit. Yikes, this is going against me right now. Yep. I was expecting a better move right there. Let's see if we can still continue it. We might just get the sellers now.
Would have failed.
Okay, we just got that quick 100 again right there off of that breakout. Again, the second test, right? Super simple strategy. Just wait for the first 15 minutes, wait for the second test, and get in on that one. Yeah, that was a close one. That's why I had to, again, for this type of market, I have to give it a bit more of a stop. I don't like doing that, but it is what I've noticed that it works better. Because especially for high probability trades like this, where it's like I'll be winning like almost every single time for like a breakout for that one point, right? Anything after that one point isn't guaranteed, but that one point is normally always guaranteed off of the breakout. So it's like, you know, higher stops are required in this market, which kind of annoys me. That's why I like sticking to my algo plays, because all the risk to reward is measured and it's in my favor. Yeah, it was a very close trade. Come on, we have 15 people watching, but only 3 likes. What happened? My bad. Yeah, the 2-legged pullback is the same way, right? Because that's when it makes it okay, right? If you're winning 90% of the time and you're risking a little bit more, you'll still be in your favor. That's when you have to understand risk to reward ratio as well as win rate. That's when the win rate comes into play. When your win rate's about like above 80 and 90% for something, that's when you can risk a little bit more, but it's not ideal. That's why when I go for big plays, I follow the algo alerts, because again, the risk to reward is in my favor. The win rate again is in my favor. So when both are in my favor, I have no problem getting in. Thank you guys for the likes. Just saw it went up. See. Let's see if we can break through our pivots in the tick chart real quick, just to get a little bit of reversal, right? It's like if you look at this chart right here, a little bit of down situation in the tick charts. Obviously, price has been pushing down. We can break above this pivot around 34.58. That'd be very nice. I don't know. Lately, the futures market has just been slow for me. Just trading the ES, right? It's like I couldn't get in on any good alerts. They've been happening, but I just haven't been able to get in on them. Might trade some Forex futures today. Okay. I mean, I think crude oil's been kind of moving. Yeah, it's been making nice waves. I mean, the ES tends to get slow every time we approach like all-time highs again, right? Until once we break out of those all-time highs, that's when we get some momentum with it and we might push through. But when it's approaching all-time highs again, that's when price tends to move a lot slower. It is something I've picked up on over the years where it's like every time it's trying to get to all-time highs again, it takes a sweet time. The ES is pretty much bouncing off of the VWAP in a 3-minute candle, so at least. So we'll see how well it can hold. That's my main concern right now. It's like how well can we hold above that price? We did have a little bit of a, you know, push to the downside, but buyers kind of stepped in pretty quickly. If we can get a good amount of buyers to come in now, that'd be very good. That would be a position that would be very nice to get into. So pretty much NQ, ES not in sync anymore. I'm looking at them side by side on this screen on my left, and ES is pushing down, NQ is pushing up. So they both need to get into sync very soon. Now we're pushing below our morning range. Let's see. We might just make a bigger pullback. Crude oil might be making a big move today. The way it's set up, right? If you guys are trading crude oil. Yeah, this is ES is just becoming like a patience game this whole week where you just gotta sit and wait for the right moves to pop up. I mean, that's always with trading, but like it's just usually it's a lot faster. Big chart bouncing back and forth. I mean, tick chart is suggesting that, buyers are still in control. That'll be interesting to see if we can make a nice push. NQ is pushing again. ES might start to follow now. There's nothing like big news or anything. It's literally just people being hopeful about the stimulus right now. For some reason, I get the weird feeling that once the next stimulus gets approved, we might just like the institutions might dump everything because everyone's expecting the markets to move up, right? And that's when the institutions like to capitalize on everything. I feel like even with the stimulus, it's still gonna crash, to be honest. Because the institutions definitely understand market sentiment of the regular people investing as well as everyone else. So it's like whenever people think, because like they know that people are gonna think, hey, we got the stimulus last time and we just rebounded like crazy. So we got the stimulus again. We're gonna try to rebound like crazy, but they do the opposite. They they get away with a big check, right? They showed the news on how the market dumped when Pelosi was speaking. Interesting. I would like to see a nice push off of that 200 EMA, come down, or the resistance support level right here, right? Guys, NQ is strong right now. I don't know what's up with ES, but NQ has been strong. I mean, the VIX is finally down for once. The volatility is starting to die down. But we're still good for, Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, Russell 2000. They're all up at the moment. Pushing down again. Okay, let's see. Go for that 200 EMA. Would love to see that. Oh, thank you, Trailblazer. Yeah, it's getting sideways again a little bit, but I mean, it can still push down. It's not completely sideways just yet. And I think that's like one of the things you have to like really embrace when you're trading, right? Like, there's gonna be like a week or 2 weeks, who knows, a month where it's like very slow. You're not gonna catch your big moves. You're not gonna like. You have to be super patient. Like the market will test you in every single way possible. It's like, and that's kind of been this week for me, right? I haven't really been getting that many big trades in, but a scalp here, a scalp there, but I didn't really get into any big plays because nothing was matching up. But yeah, Chuck, those are the settings that he said. The 200 tick chart with the 12, 22, and 32, but the period would be 1550. Do you mind sharing your P&L for this year so far? I mean, I like to keep my financials kind of private. I think we had this discussion yesterday. That's just for like personal safety and everything, right? I mean, in the beginning of the year, it was very well to me, so. And that's the thing, like even the discussion we had yesterday about like asking people for their income and everything, it's something that really shouldn't concern people. Like I'm not here telling you, hey, follow my trade here or anything like that, right? It's like I'm here just building a community. I do have an algo that I do sell, but like that's just a tool that you guys can use with your own analysis as well. Like I think my main concern with people is like you should focus on your P&L because somebody else's P&L will never make a difference to your life unless they're trading your money. And the people that you should be asking the P&L question to is the people that are really like out there promoting themselves, like marketing themselves, like, hey, look at this, I made this much and this much. When they literally tell you that, that's when you want to question it. When it seems unreal, right? But like with futures, I'm making a normal, steady stuff. But like this month has kind of been slow, and that's something I can deal with. We are getting a nice little bounce off of that 200 EMA. Pay attention to that. Yeah, exactly, Chuck. The main reason that you're becoming a trader is like you like that freedom that you get, the time, the no stress, no office politics, nothing like that. It's a good life. I'm obviously you want to be doing more than just paying your bills, but but like I said yesterday, if you're able to be a full-time trader and you're not just, I'm not saying you're the newbie that's doing full-time trading, but just because you quit your job, that doesn't count. I'm saying full-time trader for a while. That's when you know, hey, you've been pretty consistent with the market, you've been bringing in money, or else how else would you be surviving? Unless you have a big trust fund and you can just do whatever you want. I guess you're lucky for that. I wish I had that, but I don't. Yeah, Thinkorswim is a bit different because the data they use is for some reason a little bit different. But for me, the TradingView and Tradeovate, the 200 EMA is exact same. You want to buy a beach house and trade from my laptop watching my backyard ocean? That is nice. I do like the water, dude. Big fan of the water. Sergio, my trading journey pretty much started back in 2014, man. But yeah, Chuck, obviously the better you get, the more money you will make over time. And the thing with trading is your money starts compounding after a little while. With future, you're just making your consistent like little income here and there. And then once you up the contract, then you start seeing more. Same thing with stocks. You start compounding it. And that's when you really see exponential growth. But that's why I tell people you have to plan for everything for the long run. Just don't look at it like I'm making this for this week. Like, okay, but like those are short-term goals, but you need to have the long-term goals with trading as well, where those are the ones you want to be make sure you're hitting. Because you can miss a short-term goal here and there, but those long-term goals have to be hit. And a lot of people just take the money out of the markets. Personally, I like to keep as much money in the markets as possible at the moment. I like, I have my dividend stocks that are paying me. I have the regular stocks that are growth stocks that I'm in, riding them out. And then I'll have the swing trades, even adding more, right? I mean, you want to be able to pull it out at some point, right? Or else it's useless. But I know what you mean. You just don't want to pull it out now. And I'm completely the same way. Like, if I put money into an investment account, that means I don't want to touch it for my personal use for a long time. Because I'd rather be patient for a couple years and make out big than just be like, oh, look at that. I made an extra 2,000 in this week. And I was like, okay, let me just take this and let me just go party it up, right? No, that's not the way it works. Take the money, reinvest it for your bills and everything, Make sure if you're starting out, make sure you have your budget planned out. And if you want, you can always get a part-time job as well, right? Or a side gig. Yeah, if you have a savings account, you're good. Then you'll go spend it on food. Yeah, eating out's a big expense, right? That's something definitely if you're starting out, if you're new, definitely cut that out. It will help you save a good amount of money. We're getting a nice bounce off of that 200 EMA. Let's see if we can get some buyers to get a strong move in. I will be looking to get in today. Oh yeah, especially in Jersey. So many restaurants around me. And it kind of sucks that I like trying new food out all the time. But I kind of been limiting it now as well. I mean, ever since COVID, like I kind of just been limiting it a lot, to be honest. And then every year I also do like a little fitness thing where it's like I kind of just go on a full diet and everything. So I'll just like start meal prepping completely for the whole week and then go that route. So I mean, yeah, Chuck, if you're a chef, like you don't really need somebody else's food, right? You can make your own food, probably that tastes the best for yourself, right? And you switch to grilling in the backyard, that's fun. My brother loves doing that. He loves grilling. Me personally, I'm not the best grill person, so you shouldn't trust me to cook your food. I can cook normal food for sure, but like anything after that, it's like get somebody else. That's interesting. I didn't know it was like a four times multiplier. But I mean, that makes sense. That's why the margins on restaurants are good, right? If you're successful. Hey, forgot your Discord password. Just hit the forgot password, man. They'll let you reset it. Yeah, Chuck, that sounds about right. $5 to make, $20 burger, yeah. I mean, that's also why I kind of don't eat fast food too much anymore. I used to before, but not anymore, just because it's like the food quality isn't the best. Really? I thought restaurants really had good margins from what I heard. I guess I could be wrong. You're the chef, right? You know better than me. Trying to see if some buyers can step in and then we can make a nice push to the upside. That's all I'm waiting for right now. Catch a nice move. And why do people love opening up restaurants so much then if they don't have good margins? Because I've met people that own restaurants. Like I have a friend that like their parents own a restaurant as well, and they have like two. They're doing really well for themselves. And it's like a normal restaurant too. It's nothing like crazy. Because of love of the craft. Okay. I mean, that's if you're a chef. There's a lot of people that just own restaurants because they want to make money from it. You're a chef, definitely. You want to own your restaurant because, like, you love cooking. That's your passion. That's good for him, man. That's interesting. But I think a good amount of restaurants make a huge ton of profits on the liquor because I know the bottle only costs like $5, but then they're charging like $5 for a glass, right? Honestly, I think liquor stores are actually a really good business. It's literally recession proof because people drink all around, like, and no matter what time it is. These fast food places on wheels, like, yeah, so you mean the food trucks, right, Enzo? No, dude, food trucks are actually, I kind of like trying them out. They always have some unique stuff going on there. You need a pawn liquor store. Yeah, like whenever I talk to like the people that own the food trucks, like they love it. They make some interesting food too. I love it too. Like Philly usually has like a food truck festival. Like New York, there's usually some food truck festivals. Like even in Jersey, we'll have some food truck festivals sometimes as well. So it's fun to go to those, try everything out. He had a barbecue truck and made. That's good for him though. Hey man, you can still make a good amount of money with real estate, right? Let's see if we can hold above this 200 EMA. I would love to see that. That's what we did before too, right? That's when we know we're just slowly making swings to the upside. I would love to see a nice little reversal happen right around here. Bounced off once. This doesn't really count off a bounce. It kind of just went off of our level. Here, definitely a bounce because pretty much 200 EMA and our support level at the same time. Like, that was a give me. Like, price is struggling to break through that 200 EMA, right? So it's good for us. Just trying to see, really trying to see if we can get some buyers to step in. RTY is selling off. Let's take a little quick look at it. Yeah, total divergence between ES and NQ. So today is a day you have to be careful. NQ is definitely pushing up for sure. That thing's been pushing up since like 7:10 since we got that alert for on NQ, right? Like on NQ, we got the algo alert around like 7:10. Pretty much just hit everything. What was this move size though? 37 points on the NQ. Let's check out RTY. Yeah, Russell is that broke through the 200 EMA, selling off. This is an interesting market. Super interesting market. This might just be another slow day for us, man. That's super interesting why Russell is selling off, but NQ is still holding strong. What is going on today? Yeah, NQ is holding strong. ES is still pushing down. It's slowly starting to get some buying support. I mean, it hasn't broken through that 200 EMA, so we're still in good hands for a nice reversal and bounce play off of the 200 EMA, right? Yeah, Delta is completely different. I mean, right now it's following the trend to the downside for the Delta. On the ES, right, the Delta is fine. Oh, the Delta on NQ is different from the ES? Yeah, that's for sure. Trailblazer, what did you do that you were working 10 to 12 hours a day for 15 years straight? Yeah, that is rough. Okay, so if you're running a small business, definitely it's gonna require a lot of time. Yeah, man, at a certain point, you have to realize what your priorities are, right? Like, you want to be able to spend time with your family. And if something's going to stop you from that for a very long time, then that's not worth it. So, Trailblazer, that's this the main conception. That's the main reason. Another reason why I don't like sharing P&L stuff for like my how much I make or anyone makes, right? Just because your P&L will always look different from my P&L. Because the account size I'm trading with right now will be different from the account size you're starting with. So that's the main reason you have to understand. A lot of people when they start out, it's like they look at like some of the YouTubers out there. Yeah, some of them have like millions and millions of dollars to trade with. Perfect. Some of them are trading with a lot less. Their P&Ls will always be different. You can't expect, oh, I saw this guy on YouTube make this much, so I'm gonna make the same amount pretty immediately, right? No, they worked. If there were real traders, they worked their ass off and got to a certain point where they can bring in that X amount of money. You have to understand that how much money are you going to be starting with? How much can you make on that money, right? You can simply follow that 1 to 2% account growth rule and follow the compounding interest rule with just playing with stocks. Futures, it's a bit different because it's not really a percentage game, it's more a dollar game. And when you focus too much on somebody else's P&L, when you start trading, when you put more money into the market, you get disappointed. Like, I'm here to try to help people and make sure that they're in good hands. That's why I like to make sure, like, even like their psychology, it needs to be tweaked a little bit for some people. Not everyone, because some people are already good, but some people, when they're still trying to figure everything out, they're always focused on the other person. Focus on yourself, focus on personal growth. That's what really matters. Because some people only trade micros, some people only trade the regular ES contracts. I personally trade the ES contracts. So that my P&L will completely be different if you start with micros, right? And honestly, trading is just another business. You have to manage it and treat it like it's a business to be like successful with it. You have to set rules for yourself, just like if you say you were working in an office or anything, right? You have certain rules that you would never break. Like if you're in the corporate world, you wouldn't walk in and like hit your boss or say something rude to your boss, right? That's like one normal rule, right? With trading, it's like, hey, I really got to follow my rules that I set in place. He's like the main thing, honestly, anyone that's trading, like just focus on your account. Don't ever worry about what the other guy's making. Because that's why they have that saying, right? It's like the grass is always greener on the other side, or don't worry about your neighbor's lawn. I forgot what the saying was, but it's true. Don't worry about what their lawn looks like. Don't worry about what their account looks like. Focus on growing you, because me making money wouldn't make a difference for you, right? It's like as simple as it gets. Futures are mainly a lot more people scalp with the futures, to be honest. It's much easier because you can get in and out so quick. But it also depends on how volatile the futures market is at the moment, right? The scalp. Like we almost got hit before on our stop. Got right to the tick. That was a close one. Normally I like to see quick moves. Like yesterday, 0 seconds, but like right now I'm just waiting for an algo alert to see if we can make some big moves. I mean, that's Enzo. That's how you grow, right? You have to get that knowledge and you have to see everybody's perspectives and see which one matches with yours and understand how can I constantly improve myself, right? And that's the exact reason why anytime you guys share strategies with me, I'm always testing them out just to see, okay, well, what is the basis for it? How well does this work? Is this something I can actually utilize or not? And I do the back testing for because I'm always ready to learn more. I mean, we are slowly starting to push up a little bit. I like that. I like seeing this. CAD USD futures trending nicely. Okay. I don't really trade like Forex futures or anything like that, so that's not my expertise for there. But but yeah, man. And I completely agree. Once you start looking and charting more, you kind of just pick up on the patterns. You'll understand, hey, what makes the market move, what doesn't make the market move, when will the market be sideways. It all just comes with some practice, right? NQ is just obliterating it, man. It has not cooled down one bit. Let's see if ES can start to catch up with it now. Pretty much just hit the tick by tick of our range, right? That morning range. Let's see if it wants to get back into it and then completely push through. Oh, this is a super nice bounce off the 200 EMA. That's the thing with the 200 EMA. You don't get into it when it's just bouncing very close to it, but once it pulls back and then comes down pretty fast, that's when you get into the 200 EMA. Nice little, okay. Cool, cool, cool. I'm just gonna get rid of this box right here, so if I have to get an entry, it makes my life easier. I mean, we kind of pretty much just hit our 1 day target, right? Level 1 for the 1 day on the algo. That's good to know. since this will be in the morning range, I will drop it down to one contract for now. Just in case we get hit by the chop, because an alert is forming, but just to reduce my risk today, because the market has been a little bit sideways, so that's my only concern. I'll just go down to one contract for now. And then once candle closes, I will move my order down to 34.5725, obviously one tick above the algo. So would I get in on the algo alert if the next bar that opened is a red bar that goes down to the stop area? If it's a red bar, if this turns down completely, right, and hits my stop before I even enter, right, then I would just cancel my order, because that means the loss of momentum is that momentum is gone. The buyer momentum is just completely gone. It got taken out, and all the buyers will be recalculating what they want to do next. So in those situations, no, I would not be in it. What I like to see is clean momentum plays that just push up, right? Level 1 will be at 34.6075, level 2 will be at 34.6475, and level 3 is at 34.6850. I only got in with one contract because I do want to be a bit more careful today, because it's going to be in the morning range again. Right now price is in that morning range. That's the only reason. Or else I would just normally get in with two contracts. But I'm going to ride it out, play out the levels. Is one contract, if we can get hit level 3, you would get 562.50 of profit. Obviously with 2, you just double that number. But let's see how well we can do it, right? Like, this is what it's going to look like on my trading view chart. Let's see if we can continue that momentum. We kind of pushed back off of that 200 EMA, got that bounce. Obviously NQ has been pushing up, so that's a good sign. ES is just trying to catch up to it now. Once it hits level 1, I will move my stop up to break even and then just ride it out, right? Level to level. So pretty much, so this is the alert candle from the algo, right? It'll tell you say buy. And then once we get this buy, we put our order one tick above, right after candle close. I put my order right at 34.5725. One tick, again, just to avoid double top scenarios or anything like that. And then we wait it out. I pretty much like to enter between in the next 10 minutes, right? Because of the 5-minute candles, I give it the next 2 candles. If it doesn't enter, if it doesn't break through in the next 2 candles, I just get out of it. Because that means it might just end up being a slower move, or, you know, that momentum is starting to die off. I would like to see a bigger push right now. That's what I normally like to see when it's going to be a quicker play. But as long as we keep breaking the candle highs, we are in a good condition. We do just have some sellers piling up around 34.58, just a little bit. So once we push through those, I think we should be good. Chuck, is that to the upside or downside? Yes, upside. Okay. I mean that was my main concern, right? That morning range is where we might get a little choppy because we do have the high volume node of the day there. So it's like that's why I dropped my contract size down just to make it less risky. But once we push through 34.58 and hold above it, we should be in good hands. These are medium sellers. I don't see anything big on the dome yet, maybe unless you're seeing something else. Just make sure how NQ is doing. NQ is still pushing up. I just have to battle it out a little bit. The tick charts are still holding green, so I'm still gonna hold it. The tick chart gets weak, I see heavy sellers, then I might consider cutting my losses. But since we're around that high volume node of the day and we enter the morning range again, it might just be a little bit choppy, but we are holding strong. I'm gonna stay in it. I will have to ride it through. I don't see any sign of weakness just yet. I think once we push through those sellers, we should get a quick push. I mean, if price is holding above that 9 EMA, we should be good too. If it's holding above the 9 and the 21, that's pretty decent. Yeah, the range is my only concern, but the minute we break through that, right? Since we struggle with the sellers right there and they've tried pushing it down, now that the buyers are getting stronger again, we should see good movement. Trying to see if it can hit 34, 60, 75. That's our first target, right? 60, 75 would be right around here where my mouse is. Again, that's where some sellers are piling up at 60, 75, right around that area. Our profit levels always act as nice support and resistance levels. Right now, it's just a matter of waiting it out, right? I do want to move my stop up to break even, but I'm just letting the candle finish real quick. I just don't want any quick sellers to step in and take me out. Because we are approaching, the all-time high, not all-time high, sorry, the daily highs, right? Here, I'll pull up the charts for you real quick. That way you guys can see. I can do the risk reward thing right here, long position. So if you go for, depends on which one you want to use as your stop, right? I personally just start off with the second one. So your risk reward is kind of like 0.68, but you start trailing it. This one, that's when your risk rewards come 0.88. But mainly I try to go for 2 and 3. Profit level 1 is usually just when you want to take it to break even. That way you can protect yourself. 2 and 3 is when your risk to reward really gets in your favor, right? No matter where you put it. It's like, to hit level 1, you should at least be at break even or the stop loss right here. So 1.82 if you go for level 3, and level 2 would be 1.82, and level 3 would give you risk to reward ratio of 2.71. You are seeing some sellers step in. Might be time to put it to break even. I don't want to get caught in a reversal because we've been on a pretty nice move. Would I buy it again? No. Because if it didn't work out once, I don't see it working out again. It does sometimes. It definitely does. But my risk, I just don't want to do that. If it's not going to work out on the first time, I'm not going to do it again. Because you don't want to make the same mistake twice, right? The only times I try to go for the pullback is when it's a big candle, big alert, like over 10 points. If it goes up, it should come down, because anytime we moved like 10 points super fast, we end up pulling back down a little bit. So only on those types of situations will I try to get back in. But normal alerts like this one, I would just, wait it out. What if it is algo was 1 point differently up or down? What do you mean by that, Mandich? I don't understand that one. I would get in then. Because that just means it's detecting another momentum move to happen, so it's like I would get in then. That's fine with me. If it was a completely separate alert, then yeah, sure. But if I'm getting it back to back, which actually wouldn't happen, but if it's just that 1 point difference, or if it's in the same area, that just means the first time it couldn't. That's where price wanted to break out, but couldn't. But then the second time, it will end up pushing through. Right now, I'm just trying to see, can we get some buyers to push it up? I mean, if it ends up getting weaker, it gets weaker, then I take it out for break even, no big deal. We haven't really been catching any great moves this week. Morning session's kind of been dull, so we'll see. It's really testing it on the 500 tick, if you guys have noticed that right on the left side, right? Been trying to hold above 34.58. That's where sellers are piling up last time too on the dome. If you guys remember, like if we can, they're trying to hold above 58. Like they really are. Like if you look at the tick chart, and for everybody watching, if you guys could drop that little like button, make it turn blue, help me with that YouTube algorithm, that would be awesome. Really appreciate it. And if you're a completely new trader, definitely check out the free course that I made you guys. It's like 6 hours. Definitely got a lot of useful information in there. And obviously, if you wanted to sign up for the algo, that link is down below as well. Yeah, we are getting weak. We're getting weak. We might just end up being taken out for break even. And if that's the case, I'll live with it. I don't mind. But I'll be happy that we just followed and stuck with our plan. Because in these type of market conditions, that's what's really important. Can we stick with our plan and follow it through? I think I'm just gonna get up, stretch, move around a little bit, not watch this. If it hits a break even, it hits a break even, right? And so your 500 tick chart looks different. How so, man? Gonna take a little stretch. I'll be back. And I think we're really struggling to break those highs, right? 3460, 3460, 150, right? And are you using Tradeovate? Here, I'll pull up the settings for my chart right here, right? Chart settings, 500 tick. Okay, perfect. Let's just do a quick walkthrough on how you can set it up for the 500 tick, right? Do the 500 tick. Chart type, and this one is just regular candlestick. And then when you go to your indicators, get on super trend. You should be able to find that in, if you can, you should normally find it in explore community indicators down here. It should have it. If not, you should also, I think maybe in, I think, yeah, I think I got it from explore community indicators where you just type it up like super trend. Yeah, Tiki super trend, that's fine. Or this one, any of them, they're the same. Once you have that, get down your configure chart elements, click on super trend. Period would be 21, multiplier would be 3, have the colors, color the bars, and then show the trend. Make sure those are ticked. Main thing is 21 and 3. We might end up getting taken out. Well, realistically, I'm going to keep it at 57. That's our actual, because we entered one tick above, so 34.57 is where my stop should be. That might be because you're looking at the MES. It will be different for MES versus ES, right? As long as it's holding above 34.57, I'll be in this. I'll wait it out. Kind of don't want to look at it. I kind of want to walk away and come back to it and just see how it worked out. Because staring at it never helps. The VIX is normal now. Long way up we go. Okay. I like hearing that. I'm in a long position, so let's see if we can hit our target. Still a good amount of sellers just piling up around that 34.60. It's really trying to hold up in that 500 tick chart. That's what shows us like that short-term trend. So it's like as long as it's holding above, we're in good hands. But it was trying to peak and break through just a little bit, but it couldn't. We'll see. I'm gonna find out right now. And if it takes me out here, I'm just gonna end up stop trading for today and then call it a day. Not gonna find another move for a little while. Uh-oh, uh-oh. See? The tick, the tick. Some buyers? Can we get some buyers? No, no. Let's see. Heavy buyers piling up at 34.58, but you never know.
Upfield.
We got taken out. See you next week, Enzo. Yeah, man, this week has been dull. Kinda don't like it. But I think, to be honest, I think I'm just gonna call it a day. Not really, couldn't even catch a nice move on that alert. We took it off at the sure level 1. That could have been good as well, but that wasn't our target. So we'll see. Yeah, it is Friday, so no need to risk anything. It has been ranging in the morning, so I kind of don't like that. I hope all you guys have a wonderful weekend, guys. Enjoy it. Get some rest. If you had a bad week this week, get that refresh, and then come back Monday. You guys will do great. And I'll see you guys next week. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.